Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Sylvia Paroi, Assistant Professor of Community Medicine Department at the Nakij Medical College, Khulna. Today we have to know the cohort study. Cohort study is known by a variety of names: prospective study, longitudinal study, incidence study and forward-looking study. It goes to prospective aspect longitudinally and we can get incidence rate, so it is called incidence study, and it is forward looking, so it is also called forward looking study. Cohort study have some distinguishing features, that are the cohorts are identified prior to the appearance of the disease under investigation. The study groups so defined are observed over a period of time to determine the frequency of disease among them. The study proceeds forward from cause to effect. Now we also have to know what is cohort. In epidemiology, the term cohort is defined as a group of people who share a common characteristic or experience within a defined time period. Example: age, occupation, exposure to a drug or vaccine, pregnancy, insured persons, etc. Thus, a group of people born on the same day or in the same period of time, usually a year, form a birth cohort. Now we see the indications for cohort studies. When there is good evidence of an association between exposure and disease, then we go to cohort study. When exposure is rare, when attrition of study population can be minimized, that example, follow-up is easy, cohort is stable, cooperative and easily accessible, and when ample funds are available. Now we see the general consideration for cohort study. The cohorts must be free from the disease under study. Both the groups, study and control group, should be equally susceptible to the disease under study. Both the groups should be comparable in respect of all the possible variables, which may influence the frequency of the disease. The diagnostic and eligibility criteria of the disease must be defined beforehand. Now we see types of cohort study. Cohort study also three types: prospective cohort study, retrospective cohort study, and a combination of retrospective and prospective cohort study. Now we go to see the elements of a cohort study or the steps: selection of study subjects, obtaining data on exposure, selection of comparison groups, then follow-up and analysis. First step: selection of study subjects. We can select study subjects from general population or special groups. Special groups such as doctors, nurses, lawyers, teachers, civil servants, insured persons, obstetric population, college alumni, government employees, volunteers, etc. Second step: obtaining data on exposure. From cohort members, review of records, medical examination or special test and environmental survey. Then go for third step: selection of comparison groups. Comparison group may be internal or external, or compare with general population rate. Internal comparison, that example, blood pressure, cholesterol level, etc. External comparison like exposure to any chemicals, industrial, any vapors, fumes, or external habits that like smoking or alcoholic, and then we see the outcome, that like cancer or diabetes, like that. Then fourth step: follow-up. Periodic medical examination of each member of the cohort. Reviewing physician and hospital records. Or from routine surveillance of death record, mailed questionnaires, telephone calls, periodic home visit, preferably all 3 on an annual basis. Now we see the fifth step of cohort study, that is analysis. The data are analyzed in terms of incidence rate of outcome among exposed and non-exposed. And secondly, we see estimation of risk. Estimation of risk also two types, relative risk and attributable risk. Attributable risk indicate the association between exposure and disease. Now we see the advantage of cohort study. Cohort study also give us the incidence can be calculated. Several possible outcomes related to exposure can be studied simultaneously. Cohort studies provide a direct estimate of relative risk. Dose-response ratios can also be calculated. And since comparison groups are formed before disease develops, certain form of bias can be minimized. Now we see the disadvantages of cohort study. Cohort studies involve a large number of people. It takes a long time to complete the study. Certain administrative problems such as loss of experienced staff, loss of funding and extensive record keeping are inevitable. It is not unusual to lose a substantial proportion of the original cohort, that like migration, loss of interest, refuse. And cohort studies are also expensive. The study itself may alter people's behavior also. With any cohort study, we are faced with ethical problems of varying importance. This is all of our today's lecture. Thank you everybody.